So I do think that for the war to end, it's either Russia wins the war conclusively on the battlefield, like a total capitulation of Ukraine, because the West is very corny. We've seen what they do with Russia, with Iran. We've seen what they've done in Syria. We've seen what they've done all over the place. We've seen what they're doing in Gaza. So for the war to end, right, there are two things to it. There are two ways to this war. If the Sahel can capitulate, right, which is not possible, you will see that Europe will start calling for the end to the war, to the conflict. If Russia capitulates Ukraine beyond imagination, there are two things that can happen. It's either there is a further escalation through other neighboring, NATO states, or the war should end. If the war ends, there is a big loss for Europe on every front. And that is what they're trying to avoid. So for the war to end, in my own opinion, what I'm seeing, if I'm to see through the Europeans' lens, they either want control of the Sahel state back, or for Russia to completely capitulate Ukraine. It's going to take time, but it's very possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Russia accused Mauritania of enabling terrorism in the Sahel.
Yeah.
What impact would this make?
Yeah, the better side of things is that Russia has now made it known on the global stage that, Mauritania is now a proxy state when it comes to, the enablement, supplying logistics and so many other things to the terrorist sects in the Sahel. We're talking about the EIGS, the IS Sahel, the AIS. We are talking about the JNI. We're talking about FLA and all those people. So, Mauritanian port has always been, that port that has always allowed, these elements to move their things through. Like even the last information we had when the Malian custom actually busted a shipment, they said it came from a neighboring port country. And one of the countries that have been well documented to have, been bringing in weapons for terrorism had been Mauritania. For Nigerian government, for all those people to have alleged Mauritania, there would be substantial evidence. So Russia is making it known on the global stage now, and Russia is putting it in the control of the United Nations Security Council that, look, this is what this country is doing. We expect you to swing into full-scale investigation, and if you find them complacent, or you find them somehow involved in it, we expect you to take necessary measure. Now we are telling you, because this is what I feel. I feel like Russia is telling them now, because I feel like Russia would not speak the second time they catch Mauritania doing it. I think they're going to swing into full action. And the thing is this, everybody say Russia speaks less and they bite more. And I feel like that is the type of situation we might be looking at. So I feel like now that they've alleged Mauritania in the face of the whole United Nations Security Council, I feel like Mauritania too would not, come out openly to do all these things again. Now they will not try to do it covertly. And I think at the end of the day, it further helps the Sahel to even, improve their chances of defeating the terrorist sect in the Sahel in a very, very emphatic fashion.
The United Nations residential staff in Burkina Faso accused them in a letter to the United Security Council.
Back in time, if you look at the two forces, the external forces that were in Burkina Faso, they were in Mali, it's both French forces and the United Nations, security peacekeeping forces. And, with all these forces inside Burkina Faso, both, the French base, they were paying a lot of money, about $20 million, maybe in a month or something. And this, a country that barely had 5,000 kilometers of paved road. And, the United Nations peacekeeping forces are not just going to be there for free. So, and I feel like with all this structure present inside the Sahel, there's going to be a lot of logistic financing going into it. And, the United Nations residential staff in Burkina Faso. These people are going to become very powerful at the time. But fast forward to now, these United Nations peacekeeping forces are no longer in the Sahel. The French forces are no longer in the Sahel. I think, all these organizations, they are together. They are together, no more benefits. I feel like their residence in the Sahel state has just been there. No recognition. When last did we hear that she was there? Until she wrote this very diabolic letter. And at the end of the day, they render her persona non grata. So I feel like the reason why she made that allegation was, they are trying to find a way to gain massive influence back in the Sahel. And the Sahelian presidents are not going to let that happen. And that is the reason why she wrote that diabolic letter. But yeah, at the same time, we are very, very happy with the response that the Sahel state gave to them.
Okay. We also heard that Botswana, Namibia, Zambia are uniting for trade and economic cooperation.
Yeah.
What do you think about this new Africa?
I think there's a new power that is brimming in Africa presently as we speak. I feel like this new order of things, we're going away from the old order, which is African Union and ECOWAS, right? And we have so many, organizations like that in Africa and all of that. But what we have in Africa presently is a change in the status quo. You get what I'm saying? So, like, people are now beginning to have more than, the ordinary confidence that if the three Sahel states can do something, why not? Everybody is not trying to strategically, economically cooperate. People are trying to ally on the economic front, on the military front, in terms of security, sharing of intelligence, cross-border security. I think this is just another step in the unity of Africa. I think nobody is trying to play the colonial game anymore. Everybody is trying to, build on their sovereignty. And I think, the Sahel state have put down the benchmark, and I think everybody are moving in that direction. So far, so good. I think it enables more unity, and it fosters more of unitedness in Africa, in my own opinion. And I feel like, they are doing it now that the Sahel has done it. They've been there, done it. Those three other people are doing it, even if it's from a democratic standpoint. But we see that those three states are really, really doing a fantastic job. And I feel like it will embolden more countries in Africa to start uniting. And before you know it, the whole Africa will be united.
Okay. Well, what could be the aftermath of Mali?
Yeah.
Latest coup attempt.
Oh, for the latest coup attempt, I feel like the aftermath is already here. Because Mali was able to capture. They were able to capture the traitors within, the enemy within. For the good side of everything is that even more than, you see, let me tell you something. When you know your enemy, you are 50% secured. When you know your enemy. But to believe that you don't have an enemy is the bad out there. But Mali knows their enemy. They know that the enemy is not even the terrorists. They know that the enemy is who they know the enemy is. But there are some clerks, some colonial clerks within. Mali has found them. But more so, Mali has been able to figure out that this whole embassy thing is a diplomat, that is a diplomat. They've now been able to understand that, okay, now your embassies, they do the spy job and all of that. And the aftermath of it is that France has been embarrassed on the global stage because the DGSE agent is still in the Malian prison. He's in the Malian custody and all of that. And, everybody that has been under detention before knows that detention is not something easy, even if you have been arrested by the local police. So, and France has said that they should release him or else what? It's still there. You understand? So, for me, I feel like it now allows other countries that are smart to look at those embassy and be like, you know what, we have to be very careful with these people. And if Mali has exposed one of them, trust me, Burkina Faso and Niger, they are already, the lights are so beamed on those embassy right now, and every other person that needs to be suspected. So like Mali has been able to champion the cause. Now I feel like everybody is on alert, so they won't be caught unawares at all.
And how does that sharpens the nation's geopolitics?
Okay, to me, I feel like it helps a lot because, one defeat, two defeat, three defeat for the enemy. The enemy is very desperate. That is what we do know. But geopolitically, I think it only makes the three AES states stronger. It helps them know that, okay, there is a lot to gain when you are being patriotic. If you listen to what the president of Mali said, that is General Assimi Goïta, when he actually spoke exclusively about what had been done for General Abbas Dembele and General Nema Sagara, he said they gave them honor, they gave them promotion, they gave them respect, they gave them glory. But at the end of the day, for what? For maybe some couple million euro, right? A currency that can depreciate tomorrow. They gave away all their prestige and everything. So for me, I think geopolitically, it's placed the AES in a good place because, now everybody now knows that the AES intelligence is on a whole nother level, because we've been hearing that they have a very sophisticated intelligence network. But with this, I can tell you that right now I can really stake my my money. I can bet my money on the AES right now. They got a very, very emphatic intelligence network.
Okay, I would say that how important is the information warfare to the struggle of the Sahel
states?
Yeah.
Actually, when we talk about the information warfare, that is the biggest aspect of it. Because if you look at the first time, the biggest weapon of the colonialists is propaganda, information. So what are their tools of information? Before, it was the mainstream media. And the job of the mainstream media is to fulfill the information, propaganda, and intention of the deep state. And the deep state are the ones that control the countries. Okay? So, like the MI6, the CIA, all this DGSE, all this Mossad and all of that. Now, what I will let you know now is that fast forward from that time to this time, because if you look at the time of Muammar Gaddafi of Libya, we were young, and the only thing they told us then was that he's a dictator, he's a very this, he's a very that, and before you know, they went in. They even told all African presidents to back off. But now, look at what General Michael Langley said about Ibrahim Traore. And look at how the whole world stood up. Imagine there was no counter-information network. Imagine there were no people that actually told the truth, that told the real story. Now, everybody now knows that the BBC, the CNN, all this mainstream media, nothing. So everybody now knows where to seek their information for. So the information warfare is really a big thing. And even with the truths that we keep on putting out there every day, a lot of people will realize that even they are trying to weaponize some of those platforms. And it's really a significant warfare, but everybody's putting out their story, telling their story to make the world know that, okay, this is what is going on. But still, the most important story that we need to tell is what we tell our people. It's not what we tell the West. It's not what we tell people that are not from Africa. It is what our people believe that really matters, at the end of the day. Because I can still tell you that tomorrow, the Western media will still continue to try to sabotage the image of the Sahel states, right? But at the end of the day, that's why terrorism is there. That's why they're trying to, create chaos and all of that. But at the end of the day, the Sahel states continue to, soar high and stand strong, and we will continue to put on the right information out there. So in my own opinion, I feel like the information warfare is a very, very big aspect that we need to really, really not give up on. We need to continuously give our people the right information, both the ones that are here and the ones that are outside the country, so that they can continue to believe that that future of one Africa is very, very possible, and a better Africa that is free of corruption and free of terrorism, that has good, good unity and true sovereignty, so that they can know that it's very, very possible. We're actually seeing it in the Sahel. But if it's possible in the Sahel, it's possible in Botswana, it's possible in Namibia, it's possible in South Africa, it's possible in Zimbabwe. So that is where the information warfare is very, very important.
Okay, thank you very much and God bless.